Hi guys, so in this video I want to talk about how we can use AI around optimizing user journeys. And so this was inspired by a blog post that I wrote on LinkedIn a while ago. And I talk about being sort of a conversion scientist. And in the blog post, I break it down in terms of stages. You can see here, awareness, acquisition, activation, and advocacy. Now, oftentimes we think about, well, how do we optimize this path? Well, it's actually, you need to optimize individual paths, the actual chevrons, right? And each of the chevron have a specific goal that you want to optimize for, and then you can look at the whole user journey. So, for example, in this case, it's the awareness phase, right? Is really you want to do is attract qualified users to your site or application or SaaS product. Acquisition is like, okay, now they're visiting. Okay, how do you convert it into bookings or free trial? And the last two is really about activation and advocacy. Basically, you want to get them engaged as much as possible, reduce churn, and the advocacy is really about them referring, building your pipeline, and becoming loyalty means stay on. So that's where you can calculate your lifetime value. In the blog post, I talk about various tools and techniques and automation. So what I did, I just presented this into Grammar, which allows you to view this in like a slide deck. So I'm going to go through this. So I won't go through the introduction, but by the way, I'll just say here that the ones I use, and I'm going to show quickly, is Clarity, Aperture, HubSpot as well, and of course Google Analytics, because we need that. So in the blog post, which you can go into, I talk about each stages in the tools. So in terms of awareness, trying to optimize the awareness acquisition, sort of these are the techniques, these are the tools that you can use. And today I'm going to quickly go over a few of them, like this one and Google Ads, for example, just because you want to drive traffic to your landing page. This is around optimizing the landing page, or optimizing the website, the call to action, and so forth. And the next phase is really acquisition to activation. And here really using analytics to help you optimize how are the users, how do you convert these users into a booking or a free trial. Again, you can notice there's similar tools from Aperture to Microsoft Clarity, which is heat mapping and so forth. Aperture actually have a lot of good features, which I'm going to show you one of them. And then you've got also HubSpot and Salesforce for automation for emails and workflows and so forth. The next phase is really around activation. When you've got the activation, you want to retain them as much as possible. Again, you're using the similar tools to look at the behavior, and that's why I mentioned Aperture, because it covers a lot of the product related as well as the marketing side of analytics. And you have a bunch of automations that you can use, but you can see it's starting to get more into the retention stage. That's where you've got customer IO, which helps you with the engagement and upsell. And then the final stage is, moving those retention to building advocacy. And that's where you say, hey, can you write a referral for me? You might send them a referral candy. It's a program, it's an online application that you can get your users to become advocates and refer them and so forth. Delight, again, you here, and also HubSpot can actually help you measure net promoter scores. So you can feed it back into the beginning, back to the awareness and conversion funnel. So that makes sense. So this is, I'm not saying I use all these tools. I'm saying that these are the sort of tools that you want to, you can use. And I'm going to show you a couple of them that are free. Again, what here is just, bringing it all together is just, you got to think strategically at each stage. You're going to run experiments within each stage, and then you can look at the whole, journey, to optimize. Okay. So let me go into one of them. So if I go back to the beginning of into the funnel stage, awareness, to conversion. This is all about how to optimize my keywords, how to optimize my landing pages, to run the A/B test. Really, you're building, you want to see how do you move those people who are aware of your product into your central acquisition. And I'm going into Aperture, and Aperture has a lot of tools, because what I like about this, you have the product. So if you're a SaaS product, you can put your JavaScript code or tracking code in there, so you can run experiments within. but there's also marketing side of things, and you can run, you can look at your analytics, and just general analytics like Google Analytics. But what I like about Aperture is that you can run these experiments. So if I go here, all free by the way, so that's why I'm showing this. So I'll run an experiment for a site here. And we go into, here we go, a recent experiment. And you can see here, if I go into preview, this is you set it up so you got to make base. This is running at the moment, but that's why it's even. And you can quickly overview in terms of exposure. There's 1-on-1, that's why it's 100%. And then you'll start seeing a trend if the treatment that you're testing is actually, expanding, is engaging more. So what CTA, in this case, it's CTA. So let's go quickly. Let's go quickly and see that. So you'll see it opening up Aperture. It's JavaScript you put in. I'm going to show you that. But you can see that's the control. All I'm testing is here, is find more versus see how. That's all I'm testing. I want to optimize the conversion for this. Is it better to have see now or find out more? And that's that test. That test is purely optimizing the landing page for that CTA. Okay. So now the question is, and of course, this needs to be significant enough. And that's why driving, if you go back to the blog post, I talk about, you need to drive, either LinkedIn ads or Google ads, or drive marketing campaigns towards that to really understand. You need data. Basically, that's one side. You need a conversion scientist. And you need data for that. And so that's why you'll start running ads around this, or around the landing page to see, okay, which is a call to action. If I go back to the link that I showed you, which call to action, which is it the treatment or the control is engaging more? Is, if you can see here, eventually you'll see a deviant where you'll see that this is expanding further than either the control or the treatment. Okay. Now, like I said, next phase is really about how do we optimize? Again, there's other tools you can use for AI to help you to optimize for driving traffic, to help you inform your experiment. Okay. And that's, remember, there's only focusing on this awareness and acquisition phase. I'm trying to optimize that particular spot there. Okay. Now, if I go to my ChatGPT, I built a custom ChatGPT, and I can share this with you. I can share the code. It's I'll put it into the show notes so you can actually go and use it. But it's pretty cool. What it does is trying to create ads really fast, but you want to really learn as fast as possible. So in this case, there's another site here, the book that I created. That's not the point. What I want to try to do is say I want to optimize for this, call to action. And I want to drive traffic to this landing page. So I can do, Aperture and change it to buy it now, maybe see it, I obtain it, get it now on, sort of buy it on Amazon. I can get it on Amazon or, view Amazon listing. So I run different experiments. Okay. So I'm going to paste this. All I'm doing, this is what I'm saying, power of AI. You can, with, custom GPT, paste that in. And, you can see here, it's presented all the value proposition. And now it's asking me, what kind of tone, preferred tone. I want the preferred tone, the website tone. Okay. So I'm going to say website. Use a website tone. So I want to capture the tone for this ad. So here we go. This is the ad being so this is the campaign structure, and these are the keywords. Now I can actually say here in the file, have how many variants you want, would you like? I can say here how many variants. Let's just say variants equals, let's say 10. Okay, I want 10 different ads. And this file, what it's doing. So there's the campaign structure. So campaign, basically campaign type, campaign group, the keywords. And then you have the actual campaign. In this case, is a responsive ad. And then I've asked it to go generate a list, and it understands the restrictions. If you ever set up a Google ad, there's restrictions. What I mean by restrictions, if you go to the ads, over here, ads, campaigns, ads. In the ads, you have sort of the restrictions. Do you know what I mean? In terms of how much key characters these restrictions here. It understands that it's built into the ChatGPT. Now let's see. So there we are. So there's your list. There's your and now what you can do is if I copy and paste the first I need the campaign, so I copy that and go into Google Ads Editor. I can paste that into and set up the campaign instantly, really fast. Let's try to do that now. So going to and I'm going to go to accounts. I'm going to put import paste. Paste that in. So this is my campaign. This is okay. Finish. So you can see here it's already set up my campaign. And it's going in there. For now, I'm going to accept it. There's my campaign set up or automatic. Let me go here. That's my campaign that is just set up now. So what I can do now is go back into ChatGPT, and that's my campaign structure done. I'm going to go down here and just, okay, these are my keywords. These are my actual ads. Let me move here. These are different keywords. I'm targeting headlines. So again, I go into Google Ads Editor, go into that campaign that I created, make multiple changes. You can see here. There they are. All these, you can see how fast I'm, churning through this, right? And then you just back here, you just put in your costing. Someone, I don't know, put in $5 a day. Just put in what you need to put in, and that would upload automatically into your Google Ads, and it will appear here. So you can pause quickly. You're trying to learn. You want to drive traffic to this site so you can test what CTA is working. Okay, so we covered a lot of topics here, but I wanted to show you how you can bring things together and go back to being a conversion scientist. If I go back to the blog post, which you can follow me, on LinkedIn and so forth, like this blog post, talks about different tools that you can use to actually help you optimize each of the journey here. So I go back to this article here. We'll go back here. So what we're trying to do is, in this case, optimize. It could be, you might, finish with optimizing the sign-up page. You might optimize a welcome trigger. You might optimize the onboarding, first moment where they want to interact with a part of your tool. So each of the stages. So within a funnel stage, there's also activities you can use to optimize for that journey. Long story short, I'll go back to this blog post, which is each stages requires you to look at them in isolation, like a scientist. And then if you optimize each stage, when you pan out and say, okay, I've actually optimized the whole journey. So that's the blog post today. It was really about how we can optimize conversion rates by every stage of the funnel. All you have to do is split into discrete pieces of stages, and be a conversion scientist and run these individual tests. Okay, guys. And remember to subscribe, follow, and go to my LinkedIn and, follow me, and I post regularly as well there. Thank you. Bye.